Were you sleeping over there? What's that? You sleeping?
All right, as you can tell, we're not in Iowa anymore. Actually, we're out in Pennsylvania, and it's something that's even more important probably than the planting, the farms, all that other stuff. And that's basically your health. We know so many people whose shoulders and stuff, they're basically out of archery now because of shoulders are bad, elbows are bad, knees are bad, they're not being able to elk hunt and stuff anymore. And for me, I had just chronic pain in my elbow, and I did PRP on that, and that worked great. But now I have it on my left, which is even more important, you know, for aiming and stuff with archery, and that's just been like chronic now over the last couple of years too. But either way, Tiffany's had shoulder problems, and she had PRP, and that
it worked pretty good, but it hurt, man.
But it's still having problems with the same one.
Yeah, it still starts to get achy, so.
And so,
just my lower back and, you know, all those hours
right.
sitting in a tree stand and stuff, so.
Yeah, we
it'd
figured
just be
it's
nice to get that fixed.
Yeah, we figured it's time. Hey, we usually are planting and doing everything in the spring, but we're also shooting and getting, you know, all of our archery, you know, shooting bows and all that kind of stuff. And it's been hard to face it. It's been hard to practice like we used to because of the shoulder pain and elbow pain and stuff. You just try to lay off it and let it heal up. But it's time to take our health into our own hands and come and do something proactively instead of reactively for this stuff and get it taken care of. So let's hop into Legacy Lyfe and let's talk with Dr. Matt and see what he can do.
Like, how dare I have to open the door for myself?
Right. Hey.
Nice to see you.
So good to see you as well. How you been?
Good, you?
Man. Good, buddy.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you too,
Hi,
Will.
nice to see you. And nice to see you again.
All right.
Thanks for having us
Let's
out.
go.
All right.
A little bit about myself. So background in nuclear medicine, human biology, doctorate in chiropractic from National University. I've been a concierge physician for about 450 professional athletes over the last 20 years. And I've lectured the world with regards to regenerative longevity and anti-aging medicine. I think the real mission of Legacy Lyfe is to provide an environment or an opportunity for people to have somebody they can trust in the field of, you know, regenerative, anti-aging, and longevity medicine. You know, I think there are so many clinics that claim to be, you know, the solution and yet have none. And we want to provide not only the science right behind it, but have the clinical data to support the treatments that we utilize here. And really, you know, just where do you go, right? Where do you go? And I think the key is, you know, Legacy Lyfe is where you go if you want regenerative, longevity, and anti-aging medicine.
So we started this journey about, 6 months ago, and I can truthfully say that the things that I have noticed that are different are very subtle. Like all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, wow, I feel really good today. It's like my back isn't hurting, my shoulder isn't hurting. It's like I have more energy. And the more you do it, the better you'll be feeling in the long run. So for like me, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair, which is a major one. It's like, I didn't really know until I was in my late 40s that it's very common for women to have hair thinning and hair loss. It's like all this stuff I'm learning about, but it's like all of a sudden my hair is like growing like crazy. It's like my nails are growing like crazy, and it's just, you could just tell that some of the things that your body was lacking, they now have. And obviously it comes out in your hair and your nails, your skin. So, I mean, I think like I said, the biggest changes I've noticed are just like more energy. I 100% notice more energy. I mean, it's like every day I am up and I work out. And now we've been doing the cold plunges. We've been doing, you know, we have our own red light therapy at home. And so I think just in correlation of all the other things that we've made with our diet and just eliminating things, and with this has made a big difference. So if you can start fixing some of those things with very minor things, it's like that's like a game changer for people.
I think that's the key, right? It's the inflammation that ages us, right? That methylates
Yes.
all our youthful genes. So, you know, when people say, what do you experience, what do you feel? You know, we know that within the first 24 to 48 hours, that inflammation is gone, right?
We
Which is
have
amazing.
The cytokine response, right? So that's the achiness in the elbow, the achiness in the shoulder, the achiness in the knee, the low back that's been bugging you. And as soon as you drop below pain threshold, right, the only way that we experience pain is by having inflammatory levels enough to tell our brain, hey, we're in pain here. So the second you bottom those out, the pain goes away.
So I think, you know, the key to any longevity medicine program, especially the ones that we offer here at Legacy, is that you return to the best version of yourself. Imagine feeling like you did in your 20s and 30s again without that inflammation. Imagine not having the brain fog, right? Having the ability to really focus in and to be the best version of yourself. You know, I think, you know, when you're neurocognitively sharp and you're not in pain, you feel incredible and you can do things, you know, into your late 70s, 80s, 90s. And that's the real goal of anti-aging longevity medicine.
So the nice thing about this, it's not like, hey, do you feel better? I mean, that could be a placebo effect, you know, doing something, say, oh yeah, I feel better. But this is something that's measurable. But every 6 months, you can get your blood taken and then look at all those markers. You can see what's turned back on and what levels have gone down, you know, because it's pretty simple to read when you look at that, your genetic test. You know, it's green when you're good and red when it's bad, so you can start switching those things off. So it's something that's measurable. You can look at it and see that it's working, and you know, so that's one of the things that I think is phenomenal about it. I've talked to so many people since we first met about how easy it is just to get the blood test and get all your genetic markers, and it was crazy how much you can tell right from that. And the one thing, like there's things that we're good at, our bodies are doing good at, and things that are doing poorly at.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is you can do things to adjust those, and then you can see that each 6 months or whenever you can see that you can track it. It's something that's trackable. It's not like, hey, just do this and you're going to feel better. Well, now you can actually track it and see what's happening in your body. And we just talk to people all the time. It's like, why isn't everybody doing this?
Because you don't know, I think.
They don't, and they don't know where to go to get it. But to your point, like the Grail test, right, that checks for 50 different types of blood cancers, I mean, is amazing, right, with free DNA. I mean, just to know you don't have that stuff, right, or to, you know, the reassurance is incredible. So no, it really does. It gives people like a whole new perspective of life.
So at Legacy Lyfe, we utilize, you know, a series of tests, right, that are not only amazing in testing epigenetics, but checking for blood biomarkers and various proteins within the blood that really identify the hallmarks of aging. And so by identifying those factors and reversing those factors, we can really show the patient that their chronological age is now really reducing and that their biological age is much younger than is their chronological age. So, you know, it's really incredible, the diagnostics that we have, and now we just follow the data to really prove what it is that we're doing clinically.
First and foremost, you got to say we were late when we had kids. I mean, I was 40 years old when I delivered Cameron and 42 when we had Reagan. And obviously, starting out so late, that means we're older parents. And in all honesty, it's like I want to be hiking the mountains when our kids are, you know, 20 years old and they're able to go on those hunts and stuff. And it's like we want to be right there with them. So we just want to be able to take the best care possible of ourselves that we can. So definitely for even Lee, it's like, you know, I don't want to be a wife I don't want to be somebody who has to sit on the couch because you just have this aches and pains and this hurts and you're not feeling well. It's like, gosh, I mean, I want to just be able to do all these things that we've dreamed of doing our whole lives together and stuff. And of course, now that we have kids that are getting to the age where we can bring them anywhere, it's like we want them with us too. So we just want to take the best care of ourselves that we possibly can.
And now it seems like it's so easy. Like I don't feel like I'm even, I mean, we're trying to eat better, but I don't think I'm eating any less. I'm kind of always active doing stuff, and it just seems like now I'm like this yesterday morning when I stepped on the scale, it's 201. And it just seems like all the stuff that we're doing, it just seems like it's way easier to keep weight off. I feel so much better. Joints don't hurt anymore, like we said before. And I think all this stuff is working. I think that they've got an answer to all these questions that we've had about, hey, does that really work? You know, and that's what everybody asks. You know, it's if you're going to spend money on stuff, does it really work? Because it sounds like a miracle cure to things, but when you listen to the science behind it and everything else, you really start believing in it. And now you're seeing the results. So I'm really excited to keep going forward and see what the next year and years continue to bring with this.
honestly, I'm excited. I am really, really, truly excited to see what the next few years are going to bring. I can say wholeheartedly I'm stronger than I've ever been. I mean, and you got to remember too, is like, not only am I a mom of 2, I'm a cancer survivor, which is crazy. And then even a lot of people don't realize I had open heart surgery when I was in my 20s, along with a small stroke. So I feel like my body can do amazing things, and I feel like I hadn't even touched the tip of the iceberg. And already right now, like I said, I'm in like the best shape of my life, and I'm like, I've got a long way to go. I'm like, I can do better, which is the biggest like thing for me. It's like, I know I can do better. I know I can get stronger. I know I can feel better even, you know. And like my goal is honestly, like when our kids are a little bit older, to have them sheep hunting with us. I mean, that's where we're like, I don't know, when Cameron's 15, maybe we all go on a sheep hunt together. And it's like, you know, you got a couple 15-year-olds or then a 13-year-old, and then obviously 2 old parents. So it's like, we're going to be going up faster than they are. I can promise you that. But like I said, I'm excited. It's like, I've never felt this good.
All right, well, guys, such a pleasure having you here today. Honestly, so excited you guys came to Pittsburgh. I'm sorry the weather wasn't a little bit better, but hopefully you guys enjoyed your treatments. We're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, it's
and I
great.
will see you guys in Iowa, right? for the
Yep.
Right, it's only like 20 days and we'll get to chat again, right?
I love it. All right,
Well,
so
thanks
good
so
seeing
much,
you. You
man.
got it, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you very
See you.
much.
Oh my God.
Appreciate everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you
nice
so much.
Great
place.
to finally be out here, you know?
Perfect. Awesome, guys. See you soon. Okay.
I mean, I think Lee, at the feeder field, you might sit there a little longer until they get top when they start really moving around.
Yeah. Well, either way, if we start low, you know they're going to be up high because they've been there all year. We haven't been down the bottom field yet.
Right.
All right, let me show you this. And you're going to get Cameron's shotgun.
There you go.
So,
No.
you might a little short on the
Turkey
shot.
bus.
But it's
Okay, this is
6 scope. You see, this is brighter, dimmer. There won't be anything in there now. You hit either one of them. You see the red dot going? So if you need it, if it's like dark out, I mean, if it's like right at first light, it's glowing too much, then you just can dim it down with the front one. If it's sunny out, sun comes up, you can brighten it up. Which way do they should go in from? From the barn now?
I'd come from the barn, yeah. I would park where the road splits.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go any further than that.
Yeah.
Maybe you and I just walk down the edge, let them walk in this side. Because if there's that many people walking out in the field and they're in that bottom,
Yeah.
even if they're awake on the limb looking, they're like, 1, 2, there's 6, okay. There's 6.
Yeah. Out to the right of him. Yeah, we need to call that hen in here. He's in the field. Okay, once you get the gun up, it's up there. There's one in toward the left. Go super slow, but if I need to get the gun ready, he's coming to the left. To the left. He's in. He's right there.
Were you sleeping over there? What's that? You sleeping? Hey Lee, too easy. Too easy. What is... Oh, shut up. We'll kill you tomorrow. Yeah.
That was good.
For the record, it usually doesn't happen
Quite that. I was just saying, I said not that. I was like, wait, I'm still tucked in. I was like, it usually doesn't happen.
No, I
quite
was gonna
that.
say you better kill this bird because
Yeah,
this is they will usually just walk in and get shot.
Not like that. I was like, that was awesome. That worked out. Couldn't have worked out any better, honestly. It's like yeah, that was great. Yeah, you're like, this is awesome. We should do this all the time. Never works out like that, ever. It's so funny.
Well, I thought you were sleeping over there.
What's that? Who's that, man? Yeah. I was resting. It was great, man. You kidding me?
Is that unbelievable or what?
Man.
You're looking at us the whole time.
Brandon, how are you doing? It's like, it does not usually happen like this.
Nice!
I know. I was thinking the same thing as George was. I'm like, please do something. Please do something.
I'm like, hit the decoy, and then when he got on the hand, I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Holding my breath up
I think
there.
he wasn't good.
That's a
He
good
wasn't.
turkey. Really good turkey.
Yeah.
That's a good turkey. Have you shot a turkey before?
Nope.
Nothing?
Yep.
Too wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a
there's
really nice
pretty
turkey.
fans on them.
Oh yeah.
You're like, yeah, I don't know anything about it, but this is a really good bird.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He put out a great show for you.
Oh
And
my gosh, yeah. Came down.
I gotta say, yeah, let's send one to Matt. Or send one to Ben.
you're like, this is how we do it. I mean, you know what? If you need any tips, I am your man for this. I am your man for this.
Put the red dot on and off you go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
see, that
great.
just made it seem like it was too easy, but
Right.
I
Yeah,
said
I normally do like this. Now we'll be like, in 2 weeks, you'll be like, "Do you guys shoot your turkeys yet?" We'll be like, "No."
I know they rarely,
Yeah,
they
'cause it
rarely
really
work
doesn't
like
usually
that.
happen like that.
Yeah, he didn't even.
No, he never flopped.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he just cut it at a little angle like this. And just cut a little triangle out.
Got it. Good picture. Did you look?
Yeah, it was great.
Just go up a little higher around the spur. There you go.
It's official.
Yep, yeah, it's official. Yeah.
It's like, well, what do you think? First, well,
correct.
you have roots in Iowa though, so yeah, I mean you do.
I do.
It's like,
yeah,
yep, you have roots over.
You actually lived here, right?
No,
Or
no,
no?
just summers, yeah.
Just
Centerville.
summers.
grandparents.
Centerville. Yeah,
Yep.
grandparents, yeah.
So, but you've never shot a turkey or anything like that.
Never shot a turkey. This is quite an experience. It was great. It's amazing.
Right.
It does almost seem easy, right? With you guys.
And it did.
Yeah, 'cause-
That's what I was like, now don't count on this ever again to happen.
Right.
But like Matt Kremsler, that's like
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
out to see you, is like, he's been here twice.
He's been here
Yeah,
2 years, and
Nothing.
him and his
Checked
wife, and
out.
they
Yeah.
Really?
didn't get one in two years,
Yeah,
and they
so
came
it's
for
like,
like
it doesn't
5
work
days each
very
time.
well.
So it's, but you know, when you get the good weather and stuff, it was like raining yesterday. And it's supposed to start raining on Friday, so we knew we had 2 days, and it's like, hey, we better
Get out
hit
here.
it hard today, but we didn't need to. It was like it worked right off the bat, right?
Yeah, I mean, even when we were walking in, because there's a lot of us out here, I mean, obviously, it's
Yeah.
like, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
we,
you guys
we
are
did
amazing.
say the shoulder's feeling good. You get the bow out here now and everything, so.
Get everybody back to speed, right?
Right,
Bring it
yep.
back to speed.
Yeah, Hoyer, his elbow is perfect. He won his,
Yeah,
won his
he's
very
home
first
today, which is
tournament.
awesome,
Yeah,
so
took
he'll make
first
this
place in that. Yeah, he's one of our cooks around here, one of the two.
Yeah, Ellsworth and Hoyer.
Right.
yeah,
Well, we'll go
my
grab the
house.
Rangers and we'll just pull them right up here, and we don't have to walk back there and get all wet through the wet grass and everything. So. All right. Well,
Perfect.
good
Awesome.
work, buddy.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Good work.
Very nice.
Appreciate
Glad
you,
you're
man.
here.
Oh my God.
Amazing. We could get a good grizzly shot breasting that thing up.
Thanks. Yeah, we didn't do much, but.
On the road, I've been away for far too long. way back home, I hear the west winds calling.
Patiently waiting.
I'm a name. They're telling me to head your way. Down your road and past your gates. Keep your eyes on the horizon.
Once I'm done, do you want to wash my hands?
I was looking to the long when I'd already found my home.
Mixing them all together.
All right, enough about talking about turkeys. We're gonna cook one of these puppies. Quentin, welcome back. Looks like you had this going down the driveway a little bit. It's kind of dusty out there. Yeah.
Look at that. I'm like, are you impressed that I knew what those were? I'm like, walleye cheeks.
I got my daughter's playing.
Oh, fancy.
Like the wrap.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah. I'm going to grab a sweatshirt.
Small bit.
Hey,
What a brown poser.
What
What a brown
Best turkey nuggets on the block. I'm talking. Good talking.
Sorry.
We don't have the flow that we're gonna need. Well, we just need a little bit.
The gun's down moving. I'm like, he's sleeping.
Okay, one weed, lower butt.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Get warm up for fish taco. Literally just
Oh my
mounted themselves over the last 9 months. So you know, when you look at that and you go, wait a minute, and then you realize that the proteins are just locks, right? They just touch the cell wall, and that produces the next protein. So if you don't have that signal, you can't produce the healing things to repair the tendon or to get rid of the white blood, like whatever it is. And that's what they call parabiosis, right? Young mouse, old mouse, they hook them together. The young mouse becomes older, the old mouse becomes younger, right? Because they're now sharing an ecosystem of blood. So it's just the signal, the protein and cellular signal. So if you give a youthful or day zero signal, the body has no choice but to produce a day zero protein. Like, and that's the beauty of it, and that's what people don't understand.
It worked 100% for you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 100%?
110%.
Yeah, see, but his was all acellular, right? So it was a purified, right, amniotic fluid that was acellular. So listen, what they call small particle, right, biologics or acellular is now really the way to go, but we want the characteristics for what it is we're trying to fix. Does that make better technology, right? We talked about this. So like with angling, right, if you have better bait, you have a better signal, the fish are just attracted to it, period, right? It's almost like a reflex, right? If I hit your knee, I know your leg is going to flop out, right? The patellar tendon reflex. If you have a better signal and you know what response it's going to elicit, your results are always better. So people are like, and then we put new technologies like lasers and stuff that are like fertilizer that make it even that much faster, that much better. But even in Mexico right now, so COFEPRIS, which is like the Mexican FDA, you have to utilize Mexican stem cells in Mexico now, right? Like that's the law. So there's a couple problems with that in that they're not as stringent, those labs, as testing like, you know, like for pathology, aerobic, anaerobic, bacteria, that kind of stuff. So you do have to be careful, like, but if you do an acellular product, there's no risk factors. There's no risk factors. That's why, and so here's the thing. So once those cell signals get in, it hits the cell wall, the DNA produces the new protein, and so like the first couple of weeks you're like, it's maybe a little bit better, and then like week 4, week 5, it's just gone. Because the new proteins have actually formed, it's repaired whatever, you know, and like, so like for instance, like a tendon or a muscle, I always say it's like a piece of Velcro. So if the Velcro rips, right, you get rid of the inflammation and swelling, and you just re-adhere it, now it's back together, and there's no pain generating or inflammation, you're back online. No, so like listen, like, and it's really, here's the thing, it needs to be N of 1 medicine, right? Like depending on what you have going on, so that's why we check your epigenetics, right? how bad is your inflammation? Like, what are your epigenetics? Are your old genes on or are your old genes off? Right? Are your protective genes on or are they off? Right? So like people that go through various types of mutations because their protective genes have been shut off. So if we turn those back on by reducing the inflammation or removing the methylation off the DNA, they come right back online. I mean, that's the beauty. This is true anti-aging and longevity medicine, and it's really, one, knowing your patient, one, and then two, getting them the right type of, procedure. And it's not a magic bullet. It's, do you have the right signaling to get the right result? Better technology, more fish.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Simple. All I know is I went from it hurting to brush my teeth to, you talk about that phase where it was like the 3, 4, 5 weeks where you're like, oh, it feels better. It's not like new. And then another 3 weeks go by. And then, like for myself last week, put it to the ultimate test. And even 3 weeks ago, I put it to the ultimate test, and I was cautious. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, it passed in flying colors. And then last week, full week of fishing, my first tournament, and not a single thought. And I just know myself from, I'm very tired, and years past, I would go to bed every night and I'd have a little flex bar,
Yeah, I remember that. You got me one because my elbow was terrible.
Yeah, at the same time, yeah.
But I'll go to bed and I won't even, by habit, I brought that with me in my suitcase because I know I'll flare up my, especially the tennis elbow side of it. And haven't used it once in like a month and a half.
Yeah.
And if it's ever where like I'm brushing my teeth and I'm like, oh, I need to do that before I go to bed, I haven't used it in a month and a half. So.
Well, like what I want to know is like, okay, so all this is so awesome, but it's like the more people I tell about this, they're like, how do we do it? How do we get it to where like I said, we're prime example, my friend Tom and Tina, it's like, that people could really benefit from this. So
I mean, it's just knowing where to go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I always joke, right? I mean, I have dear friends, and they're part, like, if you want a TV, where do you go? You go to Best Buy, right? If you want regenerative medicine, you want good quality stuff, you come to Legacy. I mean, it's just, it's like you, right? If you want an incredible hunt, you come here, right? You go to Crush, right? You want to go catch some fish, or you want to have magic fish tacos, you eat them with John.
Exactly.
I mean, but people just don't know where to go. I mean,
that's what I mean. It's like a lot of people don't even know this even exists. They're like, what? What are you talking about?
Right? And it's funny, like a lot of times, like I'll talk to doctors who are like, how you guys been doing this? And where do I get more information on this, right? But I mean, just like you guys, right? I've been working with professional athletes and top executives and the who's who of everybody for the last 20 years, and so you figure it out, right? Like, and you know the best way, but people don't know where to go. So it's not that. And listen, I think that as the data supports all the clinical know-how that we have, then it will become an educational career.
Right. Time will tell too, because like you said, when you start seeing people in their 70s looking like feeling, you look at their when you get your blood test and they got the organs in the bodies and stuff of 40 and 50-year-olds, but it's so new, you don't know that yet. You assume it's you can see it on a short-term level, but you don't see it on the real long. You don't know what's going to be what you can do in 20 years with somebody.
Yeah, but by about age 73, especially one particular GDF11 is gone, right? And so, when you lose that protective protein signaling, then you literally have like DNA mutations, you have pathology, you have sickness. And guess what? Isn't that funny? Most people usually start to get sick or have diseases about that age, right?
Right.
So if you keep reintroducing those peptides, those small molecules, you're activating what they call the WNT pathway. Then people are going to have the ability to live a lot longer. I mean, and that's true anti-aging and true longevity.
Can you see that right now, though? Like in 75-year-old people, if you've been doing this to those, that you see that is not shut off?
Yeah, all the time. So the more inflamed people become, right? And this is everybody. The more inflamed people become, the more they methylate, which think of it like a whole wall of light switches, right? And if all your lights are on, you're super young, you're super healthy, right? And this is just an abstract, but But you know, as we get older, as we become more and more tired, more and more of those light switches get kicked off, right? Now sometimes they need to be turned on, they're protective, right? But just if you take that into your head, so the more inflamed you get, the more of our youthful genes start to shut down. So as you remove that inflammation, you get to turn more of those back on, right? Think about how many times in your life, like people are like, oh, you look really good, you know what you've been doing, right? It's because in that moment, more of those genes are turned on and you're the best version of yourself, right? So as you systemically continue to remove the inflammation, you just come right back online. And that's true anti-aging, true longevity medicine, you know?
So you had PRP before as well. Was that on the same elbow or the other one?
Same, but on the tennis side.
Okay.
Tennis elbow.
Yeah, because I had too, and it worked, but you said it was super painful. Mickey, you said you didn't take the pain medication?
Yeah.
After I heard your horror story, I was like, no, I'm taking it right away.
I was screaming out in my house in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So I took the
disturbing.
pain medication like before, like the hour before and everything else, and it still hurt, but it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was 6 weeks of not supposed to do anything.
Yeah.
And now on this one, just like you did, no pain whatsoever.
Right.
You put the little frost stuff on there, you don't even feel it.
Yeah.
And you go right back that day to normal. And now I'm about, what is it, like 3 weeks now, 4 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
So now, like I said, it kind of sneaks up on you. You're like, well, I don't know, it still seems like it hurts. I even called you and said, my shoulder stuff's still bad. I said, oh, it's only been like 3 weeks. And you said, because I didn't know how long it was gonna take. And it's about the same, like I said, 6 weeks. Says, no, I just haven't been thinking about it. And I'm like, I can feel this a little bit right there.
Put your finger on it.
And put my finger on it and push it and it hurts.
wait for
But
the
now
2 more
I don't
weeks.
feel anything in my shoulder really. And I've shot my bow just a few times, and I haven't really like worked it hard because I wasn't sure if you're supposed to or not.
That was me too. I haven't shot my bow even once, you know.
Yeah,
Except, like,
but so
long
you're
never
saying the
shot
same
it.
thing. 'Cause I remember asking you about it after, and you're like, I don't know, I still feel it. But
And then all
then
of a
as soon as
sudden
you
you
went
don't.
tuna fishing or whatever, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, it's not 100%, it's 120%.
Right.
It hasn't been like this since I was 20.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and that's there's no downtime.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's acellular, it's a really small needle, right? The injection's nothing, and
Yeah, it's
literally
quick.
it's almost immediate results. I mean, that's the beauty of it, right? You know, I mean, the professional athletes that I've worked with for the last 20 years, right? I mean, these guys are, you know, they're vying for positions on their roster, right? They want to get back to doing what it is they love to do, and boom, they're right back, you know, doing what they love to do. You know? So-
Right.
I think it's a good point when you say you wanted back to doing what they love to do, because that was like me. It's like it was so distressing to me that all of a sudden, like, to shoot my bow, which I love to do, you couldn't do it anymore. You're like, what the heck? This is just miserable, you know? And it's like something, like I said,
Right.
I just love to do and stuff. It's kind of depressing, you know? You're like,
Yeah.
geez, you know? It's
Yeah.
like kind of.
But we said when we went out to see you guys out there, I said, you know, just the shoulder, like the elbow that had PRP was on this side, like tennis elbow on the outside, but I could have to pull my bow back like this and then lift my arm up. But I can still do it. But this one is your steady arm, and that's like the shoulder and elbow on that side is way worse than the pulling arm.
Yeah.
So I could just start seeing it in the shooting. It's like, golly, you know, and same with you. It's like, hey, then that's your career. I mean, it's one thing, it's a hobby for most people, but it's our career. It's like, hey, we got to do something about this. So we're just
When you see
so
what
happy
happened to other
that
people,
we
yeah.
that we met you guys, and John went out there first, and he saw it worked, you know, magic on the things.
And
So
your
I'm just
brother
like,
came.
yeah,
Yeah.
your brother, and now half the other people that we know too. But it's just like we're saying, it's like how many people are out of archery and out of
Things that you'd love to do.
tennis or whatever because of bad shoulders and everything.
And
Like
pain.
yeah,
You know?
Tom Rolls. He does a crossbow because his shoulders are bad. He's had all the surgeries and
Football
stuff,
when he
and-
was younger. And
yeah, and so I don't know about some of that stuff. Maybe if it's been really damaged and surgery and all that stuff, if it
does,
you can
yeah.
help that those people too. Can they come back from that?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've seen people, that are really, severely crippled, and literally within a matter of just months, they're back up and running. So, listen, every condition's different, right? And depending on how much inflammation and how progressed the disease state is, determines how much of it you need. But think about it this way, right? If you're putting in a day zero signal, And the regenerative biologics are so regenerative and so anti-inflammatory. Once you drop below threshold, you're right back online. So it might take 2, right? But you always get better and you regenerate for that 8 to 10 weeks, after treatment. So we'll see where you are at that 8 to 10 weeks, and if we need another one, we'll do it. But a lot of times it's one and done. It's first time, and people get amazing
was for you.
results.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's just everybody's different.
Well, John's a sitter too. He doesn't do anything. And he's like, oh, I'm just gonna sit and relax, watch time go by.
That's why my elbow got to where it was.
Yeah. I think all of us.
Yeah. But that's just amazing because I know so many people that don't shoot anymore. They're crossbows because the shoulders, elbows, and stuff. And now you find out that doesn't have to be. It's not the case.
Right. No, not at all. I mean, that's the beauty of it, right? And people just don't know where to go. That's the thing, right? And so that's really what we aim to do. I mean, one, it's not cheap, but it works extremely effectively, and it's really great at getting back to what you want to do immediately. And there's no pain to it. That's
right.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing too. And no pain.
We'll put all the information of how to get a hold of you and stuff. So anybody out there that has shoulder, elbow,
lingering
knee,
issues,
whatever,
yeah,
can't sheep hunt anymore because your knees are bad. Like George, you got an elk tag this year and he can barely walk. So he was out with you for one day and he's like,
oh my gosh.
He's like walking around here and say, hey, this would be good. We're gonna stay up the flatland elk, not we're gonna go to the mountains, George.
So either we're gonna probably all be moving out to Pennsylvania, or we're gonna be like, you guys just need to move to the Midwest.
Hey, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
My shoulder's a little sore.
We'll trade lessons.
But it's
the
great news
life-changing.
for life changing for a lot of us. And so we're happy that we met you guys.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. It's been it's a great hunt.
I know it's so fun to show you what we all do,
It was and it was 2 extremes, right? It was
1000%,
it was amazing, right?
We said it too. We're like, this never happens. Like literally never happens. You go out the first day, you're like, oh, this is easy. First turkey ever. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah. I'm like, this never happens ever. So enjoy it.
No, it was great.
But I'm glad it worked out like that.
That's hunting though. I guess when they walk in, it's always easy, but it takes 100 days to get to that easy sometimes. But we just happen to do it on day 1, Yeah.
That's great.